right here we have a completely exploded bill of materials for the Minimoog Model D. These are all of the pieces, components, screws, knobs, and circuit boards that make up our brand new Model D. These 4 circuit boards here are just about exactly original in terms of their parts and the sounds that are being created. If anyone's ever been inside a Model D, then you'll see these look very familiar because we remade them exactly with the exception of using modern connectors. All of these parts you would find in an original 1970s Model D. Some of these parts were harder to find than others, and a lot of people that know the Minimoog Model D well will say, how were you able to rebuild that filter when those transistors have been out of production for so many years? And we were able to find a semiconductor manufacturer to remake the transistors for us just for this project. I think we kind of got into that head frame a little more with the modular project, and we were like, you know, we can remake these modulars. We found these great vendors that are able to help us with reproducing parts that have been out of stock forever. So it kind of, you know, made the Model D seem like something that was more feasible. If we could find people that were willing to make these parts, then we could actually do it. And I think that was a big part of being able to do this project and do justice to the instrument, was having these transistors remade, because they're very special and very much a characteristic of the Model D that you just can't hope to get and do with some other parts. I mean, you really have to use the original parts. Yeah, and then you'll see here all the other familiar parts. The control panel really has not changed much. The chassis, the cabinet, and the style of knobs, even all the way down to the famous ribbed molded pitch wheels that were on the majority of the Model Ds, we had remade. On the original Model D, all of the pots and switches were wired and mounted all by themselves, and they were not attached to a circuit board. For ease of process and reliability, we were able to create a panel board that fits perfectly into the Model D. It has the exact same parameters, but it also does the instrument's panel justice in terms of how it works. It works exactly like a Model D would. Everything down to the type of plastic that was used on the printed control panel here, the way that it, you know, the texture, the look, the smell, the feel of it, all of that had to be worked out, and for such what would seem like a small detail, it's not as easy as you'd think it was. And then you take things like the cabinet into consideration, and while it looks like a pretty rudimentary, simple wood cabinet, there are lots of little woodworking nuances that we paid every single detail to. And we really nailed it. I mean, if you pulled this out of a closet and told me it was from 1970 and had never been touched, I'd probably believe you.